Hi, welcome back to TiECon Live at TiECon 2007. This is Prashant Shah, and I'm here with Meg Whitman, CEO of eBay. Thank you, Meg, for joining us this morning.
Happy to be here.
Meg, you mentioned in your speech this morning that eBay now trades $1,800 per second of gross merchandise value. That's quite a large scale. Now, given that, how does eBay maintain an entrepreneurial spirit?
So it's exactly the right question. The question is, how do you grow big and stay small? And it's not just the trading volume on eBay, it's the sheer scale of the company. 13,000 people, 55 locations, 35 countries, 3 major business units. And we have to work hard at it. And we think about innovation in 2 ways. The sort of constant core innovation, and we really set out resources, and it is a directive to the whole company. We have to stay ahead of the curve. We also think about very disruptive ideas that could disrupt our core business, or we could disrupt other major segments of the economy. And many times those very disruptive innovations will come from outside eBay, and we are willing to make acquisitions like PayPal, like Skype, if we think it's the right thing.
That's very interesting. You know, one of the things that you also pointed out was you had a series of lessons learned in your experience, which I thought was just very revealing. If you don't mind, let me dig into one of them.
Sure.
One of the main lesson you pointed out, in fact, was that you wanted to hire the right person for the right job at the right time. Now, one of the things in growing companies, of course, is not just identifying those people, but when you're a technology-based entrepreneur, how do you know when you're no longer the right person at the right place, right time?
And I think that is, one of the things that the very best entrepreneurs understand, which is when is the right time to bring in someone or do what you love. And I've had a lot of experience with entrepreneurs like Pierre Omidyar, Max Levchin, Peter Thiel, Nicholas and Janus. And the key is, how can you contribute to an entrepreneurial venture and truly utilize your genius? And Pierre is a product genius. That's what he is. And today he still is very involved in the product, where we're going strategically with the community. And you can still have tremendous fun and actually not do the things that you don't want to do. So I would just say to the entrepreneurs, where is your genius and how can you leverage that?
Good. What do you think are the biggest advantages for entrepreneurs today?
Oh, gosh. I mean, first of all, I think the net has opened up a series of entrepreneurial ideas that actually it's easier to start a business today than it was prior to the internet. You don't need the capital. You can start it out of your garage. You can, be small and build slowly without huge capital expenditures that were, important in sort of different eras. So I think the net is probably the thing that has made the most difference to entrepreneurs. The second thing is obviously the access to capital in places like Silicon Valley, like Boston, like Austin, around the world. Venture capital has become, the liquidity, if you will, for entrepreneurs, and that has gotten better, more sophisticated, and larger really with every passing year.
The whole point about it's now easier and cheaper to build out as an entrepreneur. Amazon, as you know, has released services called S3, and they're in beta with EC2 and other things. They're opening up their infrastructure. Does eBay have any plans of opening up an infrastructure and making that available for entrepreneurs?
Not in the way that Amazon does, because as you know, we don't have warehouses, we don't have fulfillment, we have no sales force. And that's obviously the reason that our capital intensity of the business is so low and our operating margins are relatively high. What we do have for entrepreneurs is we have a suite of APIs at Skype, at PayPal, and at eBay, where you can build a business off of and utilizing our platform. So there are companies today that actually have built custom applications that help a segment of users trade on eBay. There is mobile phone apps that have been developed by other developers on the PayPal APIs. And Skype, actually, for the age of the company it is, has some of the most robust APIs. So that's the way we're trying to open our platform to entrepreneurs.
Well, certainly eBay has probably created more entrepreneurs than almost any other company on earth, as you know. Do you have any final advice for budding entrepreneurs?
I think one of the greatest things about today's climate is failure is okay. In some ways in Silicon Valley, if you've had a failure or two, it's almost a badge of honor.
That's right.
And I think you just have to be bold, believe in your idea, and keep tweaking it until you get it just right. And then if it doesn't work, you go back and try something else. What's the worst thing that can happen? That's right.
No, that's great advice. Thank you, Meg. Thank you for joining us here at TiECon Live and TiECon 2007. Stay tuned for more interviews. This is Prashant Shah signing off.